So welcome to Jumbo IS and welcome to lecture number 1 of history in this lecture series called Prelims Powerplay 2026. Now through this lecture series, we will revise entire current affairs that are part of your syllabus. Plus, these current affairs shall be integrated with your static concepts, static syllabus. So you not only get to cover your entire current affairs, you also get to cover very important static topics as well. Therefore, this lecture series is of extreme importance. Plus, the benefit of this lecture series is you'll not only revise your entire syllabus, you only require just 1 hour of your day for this revision. If you start now, because if you'll be too late, you'll begin your revision in February, March, or April. Well, at that time, it will be too late. It will be very difficult. So begin your revision now through this lecture series called Prelims Powerplay, and you just have to spend 1 hour every day between 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Now, if you really want to get the benefit of this lecture series, well, you have to follow 4 steps. Number 1 step is pretty natural, okay? You just have to watch the lecture, and the lectures are going to drop on YouTube. So just watch the lecture consistently, regularly. Do not create a backlog, do not delay. Then step number 2 is you have to memorize the lecture from the notes provided by us. Memorize the lecture. That's very important. Then naturally you'll have some doubts. Step number 3 is ask your doubts. We'll be enrolling you in our WhatsApp groups. Ask your doubts over there anytime. The group is active 24/7. And step number 4, along with this lecture series, you'll be getting a test series as well. That test series will have an exhaustive list of tests. Be regular with the tests. Tests are the most critical component of any preparation, let alone UPSC preparation. So be regular with the tests. Follow these 4 steps and you will definitely succeed in your prelims examination. Now, as far as the lectures are concerned, well, they'll be dropping on YouTube. Be consistent with that. But for notes, for WhatsApp access, and for tests, you would have to register on our app or on our website. The registration link is given in the comment section below. And along with that, there is also a number. In case you're finding any difficulty with respect to registration, well, just give us a WhatsApp on that number and we will take it forward from there. All right then, enough of the introduction. Let's straight away jump into today's lecture. And our today's topic of discussion is Harappan site of Rakhi Gadi. Rakhi Gadi is an important Harappan site. It is a Harappan Indus Valley civilization site which is in Haryana. And possibly it is the largest site, largest Harappan city in India. As you all know, Indus Valley civilization has many sites and most of those sites are in Pakistan. But there are various sites in India as well. Rakhi Gadi is the largest of those sites found in India. Okay. Now, Rakhi Gadi was recently in the news. Why? Because certain mounds or certain findings in Rakhi Gadi or Rakhi Gadi has been declared as a protected site by Government of India. It has been declared a protective site under Government of India, and government is taking various steps to conserve this important archaeological site, which will give us insights into the Indus Valley civilization. Okay. Plus, along with this, well, the year of 2024 was important because it marked the 100th anniversary of the discovery of Harappan civilization, Indus Valley civilization. So in today's lecture, we will talk about Rakhi Gadi, how important it is, this site in Haryana, and we'll also talk about certain basic facts about Indus Valley civilization because last year was the 100th anniversary. So some basic facts would be discovered, certain important facts that are generally ignored by the aspirants when they are covering Indus Valley civilization. They just cover Indus Valley civilization in broad terms. Very quickly they revise it. Certain key facts they miss out on. So we will cover those facts. So today's lecture is going to be very important. Okay? All right then. Let's begin. History lecture number 1, Harappan site of Rakhi Gadi. Okay, so this is the Harappan site of Rakhi Gadi. And if you want to take a look at the map, well, this is the map. So as you can see, there are various Harappan sites. Rakhi Gadi is in Haryana. And the district of Haryana where Rakhi Gadi is found is Hisar. Hisar district of Haryana. Okay, there are many other sites of Indus Valley civilization found in India, Dholavira, Lothal, Kalibangan, and many sites in Pakistan, the important site of Harappa, the important site of Mohenjo-daro. Okay, now, first we'll talk about why Rakhi Gadi was in the news. The reason why we are discussing Rakhi Gadi is because it was in the news. And that is why there is a high probability that an MCQ can come out of this particular Indus Valley Civilization site in your examination. Okay, so why was this in the news? Let's talk about this. So two additional mounds, Mount 6 and Mount 7 at the Rakhigarhi Harappan site in Haryana are now protected under Ancient Monuments and Archaeological Sites and Remains Act of 1958. So these two mounds found at Rakhigarhi have been declared protected under this law. Remember this law. Now I know what most of you are thinking. What are these mounds? Okay, so mounds are elevated platforms on the ground, elevated platforms. And whenever you see an elevated platform on the ground, well, it marks the point where in the past there might have been a settlement. So whenever archaeologists discover an artificial mound, a heap of earth, okay, an elevated platform on earth, well, they are sure that there must have been human settlements on this particular area in the past, and that is why they start digging up those mounds. Okay. Now, as far as Rakhigarhi is concerned, it has 7 mounds. So 7 areas where you can find artifacts, architecture, and various other archaeological findings. Okay. It has 7 mounds, and because of this, Rakhigarhi is the largest Harappan site in India. Okay, in India. The next one is Lothal, which is in Gujarat. Okay. Now, out of these 7 mounds, 5 have been declared protected under this law. Okay. The latest ones being Mount 6 and Mount 7, because various discoveries were made in these mounds. Okay. So you understand what a mound is. Okay. And Rakhigarhi has 7 mounds. 5 of these have been declared protected. The reason why other 2 haven't been declared protected is because, well, it has so many human beings have settled on those 2 mounds, and it is very difficult to remove them. There are houses, buildings constructed on those 2 mounds. So it's now very difficult to displace these people just because you want to do archaeological survey. Okay. So those 2 mounds can't be surveyed because many people are living over there right now. But these 5 mounds, well, archaeology is being done over here. Okay. So these 5, remember the name of the law, protected. Okay. Rakhigarhi, located in Hisar district, Haryana, is recognized as one of the 2 largest Harappan sites. The largest, the next one is, not Lothal. I'm so sorry. It's not Lothal, it's Dholavira in Gujarat. Remember this fact, okay? Not Lothal. The site comprises 7 mounds with 5 now officially protected by Archaeological Survey of India under this law. Okay? This protection is crucial for safeguarding the archaeological integrity of the site and facilitating future excavations. Because if you do not protect these areas under this law, well, anyone can acquire a land, dig it up, and build a mall, shopping mall, buildings on that. And when they do that, they destroy the site. So they destroy our ability to find out about our past. Many Harappan sites have been destroyed in this way. That is why these sites have to be protected under this law. Okay. Now, once you declare a site protected under this law, what do you mean by this protection? Can anyone go over there? Can anyone own land over there? What happens when a site is declared protected under this law? So this is the legal protection. So the Declaration of Protection under Ancient Monuments and Archaeological Sites and Remains Act means that the government will acquire the land. It means that the government will buy the land from the farmer. Okay? Until acquisition is complete, until the buying program is complete, agriculture is allowed. Okay? But normal agriculture is allowed. If that agriculture involves deep plowing or any other construction or digging a tube well, that is not permissible. Okay. Until acquisition is complete, agriculture is permitted, but any activity that disturbs or cuts into the mound is strictly prohibited. Now, what can be those activities that are strictly prohibited? Deep plowing, construction, sale of soil. If you do sand mining over there, these activities are prohibited. But normal agriculture is allowed, and that too until the sale is made. Okay. The aim is to prevent damage to the archaeological layers, where balancing the livelihood needs of farmers along with our curiosity to know about our past. This delicate balance is done through this law. Okay. Now, Rakhigarhi, you all know that where it is. It is in the state of Haryana in Hisar district. Okay, and it is the largest site, Harappan site found in India. Okay. But there are certain other key facts about Rakhigarhi that you should be aware of because a question can be asked. And why will this question be asked? Because Rakhi Gadi was in the news, considerably in news. Okay. So some key facts about Rakhi Gadi. So first of all, size and location. Rakhi Gadi is the largest known Harappan site in India. Remember, Mohenjo-daro is bigger than Rakhi Gadi, possibly. But in India, Mohenjo-daro is in Pakistan. Located on Hisar district of Haryana on the Ghaggar Hakra river plain. Okay. So Ghaggar Hakra river plain is a seasonal river that flows through some parts of Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, and then it enters Pakistan. Okay, it is a seasonal river. I mean, it's not that perennial, and the water in that river is also not that much. Okay, the volume is very low, very small river, but it starts from Himachal, Punjab, Haryana, then Punjab, Rajasthan, and then Pakistan. Now, when it is flowing in India, it is called Ghaggar River. When it enters Pakistan, it is called Hakra River. And the fascinating thing about this river is that people say, many experts believe, that this is the remaining little river, little version of the ancient Saraswati River. Okay. Rig Veda mentions 7 rivers in this area: Indus and its 5 tributaries, and the seventh river was Saraswati River. But it is believed that Saraswati River became extinct, and its remaining portion is this Ghaggar Hakra river plain. So back in the day when the Indus Valley civilization was flourishing, Saraswati River was flourishing. And maybe that is why many Indus Valley sites are located on the banks of this river basin. Clear? So this is the size and location. Remember this. The largest, the site comprises at least 7 major archaeological mounds. But experts have said that there are total 11 mounds. 4 are yet to be discovered, properly discovered. So experts say that there are total 11 mounds. 7 have been discovered. But once we discover all 11 mounds, Rakhi Gadi will become the largest Indus Valley civilization site in both India and Pakistan. It will become bigger than Mohenjo-daro also. So experts believe Rakhi Gadi was a bigger urban settlement than Mohenjo-daro. It's just that we haven't discovered those 4 mounds. So remember this fact. Okay. Then key findings. What are the key findings? What did archaeologists find on this particular site? Houses, drainage, burial grounds, especially on Mount 7, crafts, beads, jewelry units, jewelry factories, and a variety of artifacts like pottery, seals, human skeletons in the burials, with funerary objects. That means objects were also buried along with the humans. The site lies in the ancient Saraswati Drishadwati river basin. Okay, like I told you, Ghaggar Hakra river plain is the remnant of the massive Saraswati river, okay, which is mentioned in Rig Veda also. Clear? Okay, so these are some of the key facts about Rakhi Gadi. Now, the reason why Mount 6 and Mount 7 were recently declared protected is because recently archaeologists found something new in these 2 mounts. Okay, so what are the recent discoveries? Okay, pay close attention because this is current affairs. So recent excavations at the 3 mounts in 2022 revealed structures of houses, lanes, drainage systems, and possible jewelry making unit. Okay, artifacts recovered include copper and gold jewelry, terracotta toys, earthen pots, and seals. Notably, the skeletons of 2 women, estimated to be around 5,000 years old, that is around 3000 BC, were found at Mount 7. So why Mount 7 is important? Because you get to know about the burial practices of Harappans at Rakhi Gadi. Because important burial site was found at Mount 7. So we get to know how did the Harappans dispose of their dead. Okay, accompanied by pots and artifacts indicating funerary rituals. Funerary rituals means ritualistic burial, and the objects or the property of the person who has died. Well, that property, those objects are also buried along with it. Maybe there is a belief that there is an afterlife, okay, and these pots, this jewelry, this person will carry this jewelry in afterlife. Okay, that must have been the belief, religious belief. Nonetheless, these findings provide valuable insights into social, economic, and cultural life of Harappan civilization. Okay, so that's all you need to know as far as Rakhi Gadi is concerned. Though there is some extra information in your notes, do check that out. Like I said before, memorize your notes. Okay, now let's move on to topic number 2 of this lecture, and that is Indus Valley Civilization 100 years. Okay, now September 24 2024, last year, marks the 100th anniversary of the discovery of Indus Valley civilization. Okay, I'll tell you a brief fact. Remember this fact. You see, Harappa, the ancient city of Harappa, was discovered in 1921 by D.R. Sahani, Dayaram Sahani. Okay, but then people thought it's just an ancient settlement. Then many other sites were discovered in the nearby areas that looked like Harappa. Okay, if they look like Harappa, that means there must have been a unified civilization which has similar urban cities. Okay, so many other similar sites were found like Harappa in many areas of India and Pakistan. And that is why in 1924, well, Director General of Archaeological Survey of India, he declared that, well, these are not just isolated urban settlements. These are part of an ancient civilization, and that ancient civilization is Indus Valley civilization because most of the sites were found around Indus and its tributaries. Okay, so it was in 1924, September 24th, 1924, that Archaeological Survey of India declared that we have found an ancient civilization because we have found many towns. The first town to be discovered was Harappa by D.R. Sahani. Okay, so, well, September 24th marks the anniversary of discovery of the civilization, not any one city, civilization. Okay, all right. So, it has been 100 years since John Marshall, the name of the Director General, DG of Archaeological Society of India, announced the discovery of Harappa civilization on September 20th, 1924. I'm sorry, it's September 20th, not September 24th. Okay, it was discovered first at Harappa. So remember the date. It's not September 24th, September 20th. It was discovered first at Harappa in modern-day Punjab province of Pakistan in 1921 by Dayaram Sahani, D.R. Sahani. But then it was thought it's just an isolated city, ancient city. But many more like that were found. And that is why it was declared that this entire area where there are so many urban settlements, well, this is part of one mega big civilization. Okay, it is identified as Bronze Age. Okay, because most of the artifacts were made up of copper and an alloy of copper. When you mix tin with copper, it makes bronze. So most tools were made up of bronze. Iron was not yet discovered, so we don't call it Iron Age, we call it Bronze Age. Okay, because many objects have been found that are made up of copper-based alloys. Now, what is the geographical extent of this civilization? Okay, so northwestern regions of Indian subcontinent, it spans across 2000 sites in India, Pakistan, and some sites are even found in Afghanistan. Okay, this entire region in Rig Ved is mentioned as Sapta Sindhu region. Sapta Sindhu. Sindhu is the ancient Indus river. And why do we call it Sapta? Sapta means seven, land of seven rivers. And the most important among these rivers is Sindhu river. Okay, what are the other six rivers? Well, Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Byas, Satluj, and the ancient Saraswati river. Okay, so it is found in Sapta Sindhu region. So let's take a look at the map. Okay, so this brown portion is the extent of Indus Valley civilization. So it includes India's Punjab, Haryana, some parts of Rajasthan, Gujarat, Sindh province of Pakistan, Punjab province of Pakistan, some area of Balochistan as well, and some sites are isolated, found in Afghanistan as well. Now you should remember this. The northernmost site in Indus Valley civilization, if you take a look at this map, is Manda, the northernmost site. It is in J&K, okay, Jammu region. Then the eastern side, okay, is Alamgirpur or Alamgir. It is in West UP, eastern. The westernmost is this side, Sutkegandor. It is in Pakistan, okay. And the southernmost site is Daimabad. This area, Daimabad, which is in Maharashtra, North Maharashtra. Okay, so remember this geographical extent as well. Okay, northernmost questions can be asked, eastern, western, southernmost. All right, now You should also be aware of the timeline of Harappan civilization. Okay, so Harappan civilization can be divided into three phases. Early Harappan phase, which went from 6000 BC to 2600 BC. The dates can change by a couple of hundred years also. Okay, some people say 5000 BC, some say 6000 BC. The research is still on. This is the formative phase of civilization. Urban cities started coming up, but they were not that developed. Small cities started coming up in this early Harappan phase. Then there is mature Harappan phase. The great achievements of Harappan civilization, town planning, architecture, the marvel of Harappan civilization, which we know about, was seen during mature Harappan phase, 2600 BC to 1900 BC. And then, after 1900 BC, Harappan civilization started to decline. It started to decline. The urban area started to collapse. This decline phase lasted for around 400 years. This is known as the late Harappan phase. Simple? Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry about this. So sorry. This is from a previous presentation. I'm so sorry. All right. So these are the phases. All right. Now, certain key features of Indus Valley civilization, well, you can take a look at that from the notes. But we need to be aware of certain archaeological challenges as far as Harappan civilization is concerned. Archaeological challenges. Okay. So first of all, we do not know everything about Harappan civilization. Why? You should be aware of this distinction. Well, history is that period about which we know about through written sources as well. Okay, so if there are historical written sources, like we have Aine-Akbari, which talks about the Mughal period, right? So when a historical period has certain written sources also which talk about that period, written sources, well, that is history. So what about that period when writing was not discovered, when people did not know how to write? Well, that phase is known as prehistory. So you must have heard about Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic. Well, that is prehistory because human beings did not discover writing. So we do not have any written record of that phase, but we only have archaeological evidence. That is prehistory. History is written sources. But Harappan civilization is weird. Why? We have found written sources, but we do not know what is written on them because Harappan script has not been deciphered yet. This phase is known as proto-history. Why proto? Written sources are available. We just don't know how to read them. Okay. So Harappan script still yet undeciphered. So a lot of knowledge about this phase is unknown to us because we don't know how to read Harappan script. Okay. Then no evidence of political and social systems. How was the society? What were the social hierarchies? What was the position of women in that social hierarchy? What kind of polity was followed? Were there kings? Was there democracy? What was there? No evidence. And the biggest question that, well, puzzles every archaeologist as well as historian, how did this magnanimous civilization, the gigantic civilization, how did this civilization decline? What is the actual reason? Well, earlier, back in the days of British, it was believed to be Aryan invasion theory. Then maybe there was a natural disaster. Then maybe the political system collapsed. No one can say for sure. So this is the big puzzle. Plus, there are excavation challenges. We can't excavate many Harappan sites because now modern cities are on those sites. Modern cities have been established. You can't uproot an entire modern city to take a look at the Harappan city. Okay, so these are some of the challenges. Clear? Now, in your notes, certain key features of Indus Valley civilization are also mentioned. So do check that out. And that would be all. With that, we conclude today's lecture. So I hope it has added value to your preparation. In fact, I'm sure it has added value to your preparation. But your job is to memorize it from the notes, ask your doubts, and be regular with the test. This is very important. And how to register for this lecture series? Well, the details are given in the comment section below. All right, that's it from my side, guys. I'll see you next time with another topic in this lecture series called Prelims Powerplay. Thank you, everyone.